At the end of the day, we'll talk about suicide. You know, what is it? It's a desperate attempt to escape suffering that has become unbearable. Blinded by feelings of self-loathing, hopelessness, and isolation, a suicidal person can't see any way of finding relief except through death. But despite their desire for the pain to stop, most suicidal people are deeply conflicted about ending their own lives. They wish that there was an alternative to suicide, but they just can't see one. Most suicidal individuals give warning signs of signals of their intention. The best way to prevent suicide is to recognize these warning signs and know how to respond if you spot them. You know, if you believe that a friend or family member is suicidal, you can play a role in their suicidal prevention by pointing out alternatives. Like showing that you care, getting other people involved, like other family members or friends. Most warning signs for suicide include talking about killing or harming oneself, talking or writing a lot about death or dying, seeking out things that could be used in a suicide attempt, such as weapons and drugs. People can have mood swings, disorders such as depression, bipolar disorder, suffer from alcohol dependence, a previous suicide, or maybe a family history of suicide, A lot of other reasons why a person might want to do it. A more subtle but equally dangerous warning sign of suicide is hopelessness. Studies have found that hopelessness is a strong predictor of suicide. People who feel hopeless may talk about unbearable feelings, predict a bleak future, and state that they have nothing to look forward to. Other warning signs that point to suicide could be maybe dramatic mood swings, sudden personality changes. As highlighted before, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, not to be funny, but people that have an instant mood change, a lot of times going through things and you're not even aware of it. Go from outgoing to withdrawn, well-behaved to rebellious. A suicidal person may lose interest in day-to-day activities. They might neglect their appearance. They might have big changes in eating habits and maybe their sleeping habits. A lot of warning signs include, maybe talking about suicide, random talking about dying, causing self-harm. Maybe I wish I hadn't been born, if I see you again, they may be better off dead, things of that nature. Seeking lethal means, access to guns, knives, or other objects they can use for suicide, any type of weapon, maybe pills, anything they can do to commit suicide. Preoccupation with death, like an unusual focus on it, like maybe writing poems or, stories about death all of a sudden. No hope for the future. Feeling of helplessness, hopelessness, feeling trapped, like no way out, a belief that things will never get better or change. Self-loathings, which is self-hatred. Feelings of worthlessness, guilt, shame, self-hatred, feeling like a burden. Everybody's better off without me type of feeling. Getting all your situations in order, making out a will all of a sudden, giving away your prized possessions, making arrangements for your family members, saying goodbye, especially if you don't even normally talk like that. Unusual or unexpected visits or calls to family and friends, saying goodbye to people as if you're not going to see them again. Withdrawing from others, withdrawing from friends and family, Increased social isolation, desire to be left alone. Self-destructive behavior, increased alcohol or drug use, reckless driving, taking unnecessary risk as if you have a death wish. Sudden sense of calm. A sudden sense of calm and happiness after being extremely depressed. It can mean a person may have already made a decision to commit suicide. If you spot the warning signs of suicide in someone you care about, you may wonder if it's a good idea to say anything. But what if you're wrong? What if the person gets upset? In these situations, it's natural to feel uncomfortable or afraid. But anyone who talks about suicide or shows warning signs, it may need immediate help. The sooner the better. Talking to a friend, or a family member about their suicidal thoughts or feelings can be extremely difficult for anyone. But if you're unsure whether someone is suicidal, the best way to find out is to ask. You can't make a person suicidal by showing that you care. In fact, giving a suicidal person the opportunity to express their feelings can provide relief from loneliness and pent up negative feelings, and may even prevent a suicide attempt. Giving a suicidal person the opportunity to express their feelings or vent can provide relief from loneliness and pent-up negative feelings. It may even prevent a suicide attempt. You know anybody out there, or maybe you yourself, has ever felt this way? I mean, you don't have to do it. There's no reason to do it. Just gotta push. That's what my mom always told me, and she continues to tell me, to push. It might not seem like you're getting any results from it, but trust me, there's a lot of people who wish they could push, and they're not here. We gotta do it for them if you can't do it for yourself. At the end of the day, if God say the same, see you in the next video. We'll do it again. At the end of the day.